Hello there, and welcome to episode 11 of my Total Extreme Wrestling Save The Forbidden Door, where we take all Elite Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, and New Japan under one creative leadership, mine. If you like this episode, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. If you're new around here, do subscribe, and leave a comment letting me know what you think of the series so far. Because today, we're going to Japan for the first time. I've been booking the G1, and today I get to show you what I've booked. So yes, there will be so before I do that, I'm going to introduce you to the fact that we are going to be doing this show from Osaka-jo Hall. This is the G1 final. We're looking at about 32,000 people could come, but we're only going to be holding 16,000, so we are working on the fact that we're going to be selling out quite easily in Osaka-jo Hall, and I'm excited for that. But let's show you how this tournament has progressed. And that's what takes us to Excel. Which apparently already has something linked to my shortcut. And this is what the lay of the land looks like. Block A was won by Zack Sabre Jr, as I mentioned in the previous Dynamite episode. And Block B was won by Kazuchika Okada, who went 9-0. Jeff Cobb almost got there as well. He went 8-1, only losing to Okada, but it's led to some very interesting matchups. Like Shingo Takagi finished on the same amount of points as Toru Yano, which I think is hilarious. And obviously, the big issue with Block A was Tetsuya Naito, who was injured after the first match against Zack Sabre Jr. and forfeited the rest of his performances, so he actually got 0 points. Only person in this tournament to get 0 points. So there's a lot of things going on in this tournament, but that is the basic overview of how the tournament went. You can tell when I took over, due to my hatred of the Great Okan, it's a pretty nice, clear point of when I took over. It's based on New Japan's booking, isn't it? Yeah. I don't like Great Okan. You'll see that. And in a sold-out Osaka-jo Hall, we start the G1 Climax final. 31. Don't know why it still says 30. That's a mistake. It's 31. And we start off with Golden Ace, Kota Ibushi and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Bullet Club's Evil and Kenta. Sort of a continuation of what's been going on in America with the Bullet Club versus Taguchi Japan storyline, as technically both Ibushi and Tanahashi are members of Taguchi, and of course Kenta and Evil being Bullet Club. These guys haven't really been feuding because obviously they've all been in the tournament, but this is just them at least acknowledging it, and that feud might then burn over into Japan. 76 rating, great stuff, with all four of these wrestlers being great, and Evil just being in really poor form at the moment. Not world title material, but it's the aftermath. It's the aftermath which gets things interesting. As coming through the crowd and hits a Basuki knee, it's Bryan Danielson. He holds up Tanahashi's United States title. Danielson, the American Dragon, is setting up the challenge to be the new United States champion. I don't know when that match will happen. It might take all the way to Wrestlekingdom, considering Danielson's other expectations in All Elite Wrestling. Hey, it might even happen on an AEW show. But right now, we are building towards Danielson versus Tanahashi. 68 rating. Match 2. So these Los Ingobernables de Japón, Shingo Takagi, Sanada, Bushi, and Tetsuya Naito, take on Suzuki-gun, Minoru Suzuki, Lance Archer, Taichi, and Douki, because Naito's returning from injury. This is his big return. And Naito picks up the win on his return, pinning Taichi, Tag Team Champion Taichi, with Destino. Douki was the weak link, as we'd expect, but it's exciting to have Naito back in the company after his injury, which didn't take him out for too long in the game. 73 rating, great stuff again. Match 3 for the never openweight 6-man tag team championships. These United Empires, Jeff Cobb, Jonah Rock, and Aaron Henare, challenged the champions Ishii, Goto, and Yoshihashi. And Jeff Cobb picks up the win, pinning Yoshihashi with Destroy the Islands after Will Ospreay ran in and took Goto out of the equation. So Ospreay is back in Japan. That's a big thing. And it's official that Jonah Rock has joined the United Empire, which was just teased at in AEW. This is now official. And Ospreay's alright with it. Ospreay's back in Japan. Will he bring Aussie Open and TJP with him? I don't know. We'll find out. Is United Empire going to expand? Probably. Where does CM Punk fall into all of this? There's a lot of questions, but all that matters is that United Empire are the new Never Openweight 6-man tag team title, defeating the longest reigning champions, actually, in this Chaos team. We then get Bullet Club Sho and Dick Togo taking on Yo and Rocky Romero of Chaos, and Sho picks up the win, pinning Yo with the shock arrow. And yeah, Sho got the better performance, getting a 62 compared to Yo's 56. Romero obviously beat Dick Togo, which is what we expect. Togo's a much older wrestler. But yes, this Roppongi 3K split has caused a lot of issues in my plans, because there's not much of a junior tag team division without Roppongi 3K. And now that one of them's in Bullet Club, one of them's in Chaos, that's going to be tough to deal with. 58 rating though, and Sho is the one who's being groomed for single success. Next match sees Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa defeating the Great Bash Heel, Tomoaki Honma and Togi Makabe in 12 minutes 54 when Tama Tonga pins Honma with the Guerrilla Warfare. Of course, you'd expect the Gorillas of Destiny to be going after the tag title soon, considering that on the last day of the G1, Tanga Loa got a pinfall victory over Zack Sabre Jr. and I believe Tama Tonga got a pinfall victory over Taichi during the tournament as well. So there's definitely precedent for a tag title match in their foreseeable future. But I guess that all depends on what happens in tonight's main event. But gets a 54 rating, great stuff. But it's the post-match which is important, as making their return to New Japan Pro Wrestling are the Good Brothers. The Good Brothers beat down Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa and Gedo, who came out to try and make the save, but he gets taken out by Kenta Kobashi. Kenta Kobashi makes his New Japan return, I believe. I don't actually know if Kobashi ever had a New Japan run. It might even be a debut. But Kobashi is here in New Japan, and he's aligned with Karl Anderson and Doc Gallows. Will that play over into, well, Impact, because Karl Anderson's the world champion there. Gallows and Anderson are tag champs there, and also they also have a high presence in AEW as part of the Elite. How will this affect all of that? This is where the three companies working together is going to be massively beneficial, because we can have these storylines. Like this Gorillas of Destiny versus Good Brothers storyline doesn't just have to happen on New Japan shows. This can go all over the world, which is what I love about this save. And our main event sees Zack Sabre Jr. defeat Kazuchika Okada in 37 minutes and 7 seconds with the Zack Driver to win G1 Climax 31. Zack Sabre Jr. has a title shot at Wrestlekingdom. He gets the briefcase, he gets the trophy. But of course, after the match, Shingo Takagi and Will Ospreay both come out to face off against Zack Sabre Jr. Both of them claiming to be, well, Shingo Takagi is officially the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Will Ospreay claims to be the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. So there's a lot of issues there, but they both come out and they both face off against Zack Sabre Jr., who has his trophy in the middle, surrounded by 2 IWGP World Heavyweight Championships. That's exciting. So what do we get overall for the show? That last angle only getting 63 might have hurt it. It gets a 79. Great stuff. Increases our pop in 27 regions. Only didn't increase it in more because we didn't have the broadcasting. But I think we've set up a few big Wrestlekingdom things here. We have new Never Openweight Tag Team champions. We've got Gorillas of Destiny versus the Good Brothers. We've got Zack Sabre Jr. as G1 winner. We've got Bryan Danielson versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. But also a continuation of Bullet Club versus Taguchi Japan. So there's so much fun stuff which can come out of this New Japan show. And from now on, you get to see every single New Japan show, as well as every single main AEW show and Impact show. So there's going to be a lot more New Japan in. We've just waited a while because the G1 was already midway through at the start of the save. So I wanted to finish that first. And it is now finished. So, if you enjoyed that, let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next episode, which I believe will be Dynamite. I'm not certain though. Might be a New Japan show. I'll see you then though.